Hi everybody, it's Doreen and welcome back to day number 11 of my Christmas card series. Now today we will be using the Cricut and the Gypsy. Now if you don't have the Gypsy, you can still make this card by using the Cricut Craft Room or the Studio Design or Design Studio, I can't remember which one it is, software. Because we will be doing some resizing, so you won't be able to just put your measurements in using your Cricut. So now, the cartridges we will be using today is the Fancy Frames Cartridge, and we will be using the Teresa Collins December 25th. Now I know I've been using this cartridge a lot for this series, and that's because I really like this cartridge. The other thing we will also be using are the Spellbinders Nestabilities card creator dies. We will be using the basic A and the basic B. Now don't worry if you don't have these, because I will give you the measurements to do your layering of your card. So now, what does our card look like for today? This is the card that we will be making. So come on and join me, and I'm going to show you how I made this card. Okay everybody, so let's go ahead and bring up the supplies so we can get started on day number 11 of the series. So now my card measures 8.5 by 5.5, and I've taken and scored it in half to make it a 4.25 by 5.5 inch card. Now this card stock is just some of the Walmart Georgia Pacific card stock. So now my next layer that I'm going to be putting on is my frame layer, and this is from Fancy Frames Cartridge, which looks like this. So we'll be using this one again. I believe we used this one on day number 1. So what I've done is, because I wanted this to fit within my card itself, so I had to do some resizing and stretching my image. So if you don't have the Gypsy, you can still make this card by going to the Cricut Craft Room or the ProvoCraft Cricut Design Studio software, if you have that, and do your resizing there. But I'm going to be doing mine on the Gypsy. So what I've done is I've taken off my aspect ratio, and I've set up my width to be 5.46 and my height to be 3.50. So that's what I went ahead and cut that out at. So I'm going to go to that cartridge, which I'm at already, and that is going to be key number 3. And it looks like this. And what I've done is just cut it out, and then I rotated it so it would fit. So now the next thing that I've done is I've gone ahead and taken it and just popped it up with some foam tape, because I want this to sit up. And then, if I didn't say, I took my card and used my Cuttlebug Swiss Dots folder that looks like this, and run my card just the top half through. So I'm going to take off my backing to the foam tape, and let's finish bringing up the rest of the supplies here. And I'm going to put this on the card. Now I didn't go all the way out with the frame to the edge, because I wanted a little bit of the white to show through on the edge. So we're just going to lay this down, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to open this up so I can get this on here how I want it. And I'm just going to lay it down so that it pops up just a little bit off the card, like so. So now let's go ahead and continue and add the rest of our embellishments. So now what I'm using is the Teresa Collins December 25th cartridge. I really like this cartridge. As you can see, I've been using it a lot for this series. And I've cut out the nativity scene which is right here. And on your hand or your overlay, that is going to be key number 4. So you'll cut out number 4, and then you'll go below that and cut out key number 14. So now I put it on my gypsy because I wanted to make sure that it fit within here. So I'm going to give you the measurements as to what I cut it out at. So for the top layer, or the bottom layer, we'll start with that first. That is cut at 3.5 inches. I'm sorry, 3.25 inches. Let me make sure. That is correct. That is cut at 3.25. I'm sorry, not 3.5. So let's go to that cartridge and we'll bring that up. So that is key number 4 for the bottom layer, which looks like this, and then key 14 for the top layer. So now what I've decided to do is, and I've already put mine together, is I decided I wanted to have this sparkle within here. So I took my embossing ink and embossed just this portion of the image, and then I took my embossing powder, and this color is Silver Fire Opal, and I've had this for many years. I don't even remember who I purchased it from. I do remember I was at a scrapbooking expo when I purchased it. So now I've gone ahead, as I said before, and I put my top layer on. So I've put my scene together, and I'm just going to lay it down here on the card for right now. I believe I'm going to pop this up because I want this card to really stand out. So, but for right now, I'm just going to lay it down. And then the next thing that I've cut out is I've gone ahead and cut out the tree, which is right here. I really like that tree. And the tree is going to be image number 29 on your overlay, which is right there. So now on this one, this I cut out at 1.25 inches. So we'll bring up the gypsy and we'll go to that tree, and as I said, it looks like this, and I cut that out at 1.25 inches. And I just cut that out with some white cardstock, some scraps I had left over, and then I took and inked my cardstock again, and I used the holographic embossing powder by Ranger, and I've also had this one for many years as well. I have lots of embossing powder that I've had for quite a while. So that I'm going to put just a little bit below here. And then the last thing I'm going to add on the front of the card is the word joy. And that is also from the December 25th cartridge. And so we'll bring that up on the gypsy. And I cut that at 1.25 inches as well. So that looks like this, and that is key number 42. And I cut that out in white cardstock as well. And then I went ahead and took the Fire Opal again embossing powder and embossed that, and I've got this popped up on some foam tape as well, and we're going to put that right in there. So that's basically going to be the front of our card. So now let's go ahead and put everything down. So as I said, I think I want to have my scene pop up, so I'm going to get some foam squares on the back of here, and we'll put those down. And then we're going to add this to our card. And I'm just going to put them randomly and probably just right down the middle here. So that should pop it up just enough for me. So let's see here. I'm going to move this over just a little bit. Okay. And I'm going to take the backing off. And then I'll put our seam down onto our card. Okay, everybody, so I now have my tape backing off my foam squares. So I'm going to use my tweezers to put this down because I want to make sure I get this lined up exactly where I want it. And then I'm just going to press down. So now with the tree, I'm not going to pop this up because there's actually nowhere to really put any foam squares. So I think I'm going to use my two-way zig pen. And I apologize if on previous videos when I grab my zig pen I say the Tombow adhesive. I really mean my two-way zig pen. I don't know why I keep calling this the Tombow because I know it's not the Tombow. So let me get some scrap paper and we're going to get some glue on the back of here. And we're going to see how well this sticks because I do have glitter that has been running across the back. But I think it still should stick with no problem. I could have run it through the Xyron machine, but as I've said before, sometimes my Xyron machine is on the other side of the room. And it's just as easy for me to grab the two-way and put it down. So I'm going to get my tweezers again. And we're going to slide our tree a little bit up underneath here. And then we're just going to press down. And hopefully we have enough glue on there that it sticks, which it is. So now the last thing I can add on the front of my card is my joy. And I did pop this up with some foam tape. And this one was kind of hard to do because these letters are so close together. So I had to cut my foam squares up in order to get it to fit. And some of the foam squares didn't want to stick down. But we're going to work with it anyway, and we're going to get it on here. And then we're going to add it to the card. So I do have one that's being stubborn and doesn't want to stick. So I'm going to press that in again, and I'm going to have to probably cut another piece. So let me go ahead and cut, oh, actually, it's down there. So let's grab the tweezers again. And then I'm just going to press. And what I might have to do is I may have to add another piece of foam tape on there. But this is the front of our card. So now let's talk about our inside or our sentiment. So what I've done is I've gone ahead and cut out a piece of cardstock. And this cardstock is using the card creator. And this is going to be letter A. So this one measures 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. And we're going to lay that layer down like so. So let's get up our scrap paper and get some tape on the back of here. And we'll tape this down. So we're not adding any ribbon. So we can just get our tape on our edges. And then we'll get our tape all the way across. And then I'm just going to line this up. And I'm going to press down. Okay, so now we'll add our next layer. Now what I've did for the next layer is I went ahead and stamped out the following: wishing you a beautiful holiday season, happy holidays. And I did that using my Memento Tuxedo Black ink. And I also added a flourish. But then along my edges here, I took my Versa marker pen or embossing pen or embossing marker, and I just went along the edges where my card creator letter A embossed along the edge here. And this size is the 3 5/8 by 4 7/8. So we are using letter A for both layers. And then after I ran the Versamarker along the embossed edge there, I then took the Fire Opal again, embossing powder, and embossed my edges. So we're just going to get some tape on the back of here, and we're going to add this to our card. So I'll get my tape on my edges. And in the middle, and then we can add this layer to our card. And we want to make sure we add it right side up, not upside down. So I'm just going to take and press that down and go all the way around my edges there. So that's it, everybody. This was a quick and easy one. This is day number 11 of my Christmas card series. Thanks for watching. Bye. Stop. Wait a minute. Okay, everybody, I'm back. And I know you're all probably saying, is Doreen okay? Did she just make a card that wasn't a masculine card and not add any bling? That's right. I had to do it. So what I've done is I've added bling in the corners along here, and then I added some bling on the nativity scene, and then I added some bling in the center of the star. And then what I've done is I've taken a regular envelope and stamped out Season's Greeting using my Memento Tuxedo Black ink. And then I took my Yasutomo watercolor paints, and they look like this. And I painted in the letters. And then I took some floral picks that I picked up at Joann's, and I just cut 2 of them off and added them down here on the envelope, as well as these little snowflakes that were by Recollections. So that's it. Now my card is complete. Thanks for watching. Bye.